Hi, Kieran here again. Hope you're all good. Sorry I haven't done a video for ages. It's been like 5 months. I was really busy moving house and I'm commuting to work quite a long way now, so I haven't had as much time as previously. Anyway, I'm going to try and keep up the hopefully keep up making videos now again. Okay. This is a reply video to S3rpic0's video, which was called Why I'm Still Not a Utilitarian. Hi S3rpic0, I really liked the video. I've been ages trying to get this, actually do this response. So I've been thinking about it a while, the stuff you said. Well, this is going to be a 3-part video. You've made sort of 3 points in your video. So I think I'm going to ramble on quite a lot, so yeah, probably easier to split it up because I haven't got to grips with editing yet. Right, your first point was about utilitarianism maybe being a selfish doctrine or justifying selfishness. Yeah, I don't really accept this. I think love it or hate it, utilitarianism is an impartial doctrine. I mean, it kind of says we're going to all maximize happiness or maximize welfare or whatever, and whether you're if you're consistently utilitarian, whether you're one of the winners or the losers in one of these examples, you've still got to say, you know, the utilitarian thing. So it's kind of roughly half the time you're going to be a sort of benefit from what you're going to sort of selfishly benefit or whatever from what utilitarianism has to say, and the other half the time you're going to be worse off, sort of thing. So. Yeah, I think it is impartial, and I think, well, I mean, as you said, I mean, it's not a crime to sort of benefit yourself a bit, and yeah, you don't want a doctrine to be sort of biased against oneself, so you always got to say something's against yourself. I mean, it seems a bit strange, and you obviously don't want it to be people saying different things based on, you know, being biased towards themselves. So I think, for me, utilitarianism gets this sort of thing sort of right. I should say that I am a utilitarian, but I'm fundamentally a moral skeptic, so I feel that I'm a utilitarian by taste. So I don't want to come over here like I've proved you wrong or anything about any of this stuff. I mean, we all have different takes on this sort of stuff. I mean, I think this moral stuff is ultimately not provable. I did a video before about my moral skepticism. You can check out if you want. Actually, I think in practice, utilitarianism will tell us to be a little bit selfless, especially about little things, because it just smooths the cogs of sort of society. Like, for example, letting people through doors. If everybody adopts the strategy of just letting the other person through if they want to go through first, or with little things like food, like sharing it, or maybe bigger things. Basically, society, if people start sharing, society becomes people sort of reciprocate, and it all becomes a bit more pleasant. So that's utilitarianism. I think would lead us to do that. But it isn't truly a selfless thing. We're all if you act for the common good, I believe you'll do that. Okay, there's a kind of complicated thing I'd like to say about my utilitarianism, which applies to probably all of your examples a bit. I've been putting off talking about this because I find it really confusing myself. But it's this issue you may have heard of about utilitarianism's demandingness. Basically, if you take an example of, you have to say somebody comes up to you in the street with a collection tin for like a charity like Oxfam. Utilitarianism sort of would say that it's better to put something in a tin than nothing. But also utilitarianism will probably tell you the best thing to do would be to go off down the street. Utilitarianism appears to say you should just go off to a cash point, get all your money out and give that away, and become a kind of Mother Teresa kind of figure. Now, that is sort of true, but I think it's also true that for a lot of people we just don't have the sort of willpower to keep up a kind of saintly lifestyle. So if we plan to give all our money away or live like Mother Teresa, it might in practice just go wrong and we won't keep it up, sort of thing. So for me, I think I would defend some sort of undemanding utilitarianism, where, because we don't want to create a lot of happiness on paper that doesn't actually come about in the real world. So I'd argue some sort of more practical thing where we do sort of compromise with the fact that we don't have unlimited willpower, that most people also are not utilitarians. So planning a big utilitarians or maximizing happiness plan for society may be a bit of a waste of time or even harmful, because we're making sort of false assumptions about what like how good we can be or how utilitarian we can be. So I should have made a video about that before, really. I'll still make a video about that probably at some point. But yeah, that does seem to be relevant. It's also relevant to the word, you use the word obligatory in this example of a cookie, saying John Stuart Mill would say it's obligatory for the person in greater need to take the cookie, him or herself. Now, I don't think the word obligatory is very useful. I don't really use it much in morality, because basically, as I say, utilitarianism will tell us to give all our money away, but it also tells us to give a little incrementally, a little bit more is better than a little bit less. So I don't know at what point it becomes obligatory. I mean, you can sort of argue that it's always obligatory to do the best thing utilitarian-wise, but as I was saying before, that might backfire. So I think I'd defend some sort of less demanding thing. So for that reason, I wouldn't say there's a hard and fast thing where you're going to start sort of saying, give me that cookie, and you have to do that. And there's always like degrees of success and failure in utilitarianism. Also, in practice, if you did sort of go, I want that cookie, or give me I'll have that $1, even if you are slightly in greater need. I think that to assume that utilitarian is saying you should do that is also assuming it's a slightly blinkered version of utilitarianism, where you're considering the sort of happiness from eating the cookie, but you're not considering the happiness of the kind of social and psychological sort of elements. So if you've got a person grabbing a cookie, that's going to make the other person sort of get hacked off about it, and a lot of little acts like that make society make everybody a little bit more guarded and selfish. So I think in fact I think this effect is bigger than this effect on happiness is bigger than the sort of taste of the cookie sort of thing. So as I said, with the letting people through doors type thing, I think in practice we should be sort of sharing things like cookies, and probably sacrifice a little bit of the taste, go into the exact rights of a person, and think more in terms of fostering a more sort of giving, generous society. Okay, so that's your point about selfishness, and in the next two parts I'll deal with your other points. See you in a moment.